Hello and welcome to this video. This is the hammer handle, and then we will assemble it with the hammer head, the hammer mallet. So looking at this part, looks like it's two ellipses. So I'm going to put the center, the origin, right here on the top, right here in the middle, so that I have some nice planes to choose and for the assembly. So let's choose our front plane. We'll sketch that first ellipse. So the ellipse is your center point, so you'll want to choose your origin, and then two more points to get you the shape. So we'll do the larger part of the handle, which is 40 by 30. So I'm just dimensioning straight to those snaps that are already on there. And again, this ellipses can't change its size, but by clicking and dragging any of those points, you see it's not fully constrained in space. So I need to control select those 2 points and add either select these 2 points and add a horizontal, or you could select the top and the origin and do a vertical. So that looks good. So I'll finish my sketch and create an extrusion. So I'm actually gonna extrude the big one back. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this a little differently. I'm gonna make it 250 because that's the overall dimension of the handle. So now I'm gonna sketch on this top surface again. And I'm going to use this offset because it looks like the ellipse is offset by 5 millimeters in every direction. So if I use that offset by 5 millimeters and do the reverse so it goes inwards, I've basically created my sketch. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut using that sketch. So I need that top portion to be 40 deep, but I also need it to cut everything on the outside, not everything on the inside. So that's what this flip side to cut. So now I get this little arrow, and so now it's cutting everything 40 millimeters down and everything on the outside of my part. So that's just a little bit different technique where I'm using a cut instead of extruding once and then just extruding again. So you get the same result, but it's just looking at that same problem in a little bit differently. So go ahead and save your part as the drawing number. So this time it's 09HH. So now I'm going to take this part and make it right into an assembly. So by going up here with the little arrow and choosing assembly, and because I still have my hammer mallet open, both these parts are ready to go. So I want to choose my hammer handle and put that in. Remember, by ticking that, by doing that green tick, I get that fixed. So now I want to insert my mallet, hopefully. There we go. So now we have these two parts. So if we look at, so we have the overall assembly planes here. We have the handle planes here, and then we have the head planes here. Anytime you can actually make planes from your parts, you'll want to do that. So the first one, I want to mate is this right plane of the handle of the mallet and the top plane of the mallet. So if I control select both of those and then go to mate, it'll basically rotate that down. And that looks good. So now what I want to do is I want to come in here and select this next plane, which is the front, my front plane there, and then I'll want to choose that right plane of that hammer. So now that basically my shaft is completely aligned, and I just need to figure out how to align that last feature. So you could do top to top, but in reality, your hammer is going to bottom out. So you're going to want to press that all the way down on that surface. So again, that's getting the intent is that these two surfaces are actually coincident, not the top surfaces. Let's go ahead and click that. Because in reality, if I open up this part, I am fine if this handle is actually a bit farther. So if I want to just change this to 45, you have to rebuild. So I made it just a touch longer, and then I jump back into the assembly. So this is how I want my hammer to be assembled. I always want this to be bottomed out. I am not as concerned about this surface and this surface being completely coincident. So if we look at our hammer, we have a fixed part and not a minus sign there, so our assembly is good. Go ahead and save this, and it can be one of your tools for your final portfolio. Thank you.